There's no
What's
one
the
ducking
lie?
you,
Why
Sam.
are you
I've
so
never
afraid.
Sam,
Yo, listen,
Sam,
I
Sam,
think
Sam,
you're
Sam.
a smart
I
guy.
can call out Mike
I don't
Tyson.
understand why
It doesn't mean that I'm
you are
ducking him.
so worried about this.
Why do you
I
feel that?
honestly
Why do you
don't.
feel that anyone, Sam? Why do you feel that anyone owes you airtime when you have a 40th of the audience and you've been doing the
I
show
don't think
for
anybody
10
owes me
times as longer?
airtime. I think that Ethan has just given it to me. I didn't ask him for it, and
Right.
so
No, you've been begging
the
for
real
it for a long
question
time
is,
with everyone
Stephen,
bigger than
why
yourself.
are you so
he found
worried
a
about
can't build an
engaging with me?
audience, and so what
Why
happens is
are
he
you
uploads
so
15
worried
times.
about?
In today's video, Sam Seder absolutely destroys Steven Crowder in a heated debate, and let me just say, this was the craziest debate I've ever seen. This all went down on the H3 podcast, where Ethan had set up a surprise, Sam Seder, and Crowder's reaction was immediate panic mode. Sam just starts calmly, methodically tearing Crowder's arguments apart. Crowder keeps trying to deflect with jokes and whataboutism, but Sam isn't having any of it. He keeps circling back with actual facts and sources, which clearly rattles Crowder. No real pushback from him, just pure backpedaling from Crowder until he just dips. So let's dive in and watch how Sam Seder shuts down Steven Crowder in this heated debate.
More
Do you think
has
your
less than a
audience
50th of the
says-
audience.
Well, that's
Do
why
you
he
think
wants to
that your
debate you, is so he
audience-
can build his.
Sam,
Do you
Sam,
think
come on.
your audience cares that I only have 1 million subscribers and you have what, 6 or 7 million
I think.
subscribers?
Let me answer. Can I answer your
don't think
question?
they
Can I
do.
answer your question? Can I answer your question? Do
Sure.
you want me to answer your question? My audience would say Sam who? Just like Joe Rogan's audience and Ben
Well, now
Shapiro's
they
and
all
Dave
know
Rubin.
who I am.
Now they
You
all know
just
who you
introduced
are
me.
because you had to
Your
shoehorn
audience
yourself into
watches
another coward
yourself
show.
into
College
another
students,
show.
every day that you do that,
Why are
change
we-
my
Hold
mind.
on a second. Hold on
they
a second.
don't know who those college
This is another
students
lie.
are.
This is another lie.
What possible
Let
difference
me
would it be?
clarify, Sam. Let me clarify, Sam. The change my mind. Everyone knows on the show, right?
Yes.
We've had
How did
professors
you know
on the.
I ended
This is
my
what-
show
okay, he's not
early
gonna talk.
last week, Stephen? If your audience
Because
doesn't even
you're
know
an
me,
idiot,
how
and
did you
half
know
of your
that?
staff
Do
doesn't
you watch
like
my
you.
show?
Because I'm a diehard fan.
Yes, it's because he's a diehard
Well,
fan.
if you're a
I've heard
diehard
of you,
fan,
but I just met you.
Why not
Congratulations,
have me
Sam Seder's fan.
and Stephen
I'm just
have
a
a
huge
conversation?
fan.
I will
like-
talk
right now,
about
every
the
time I
issues
try and
that
talk,
you
you're
want to talk
interrupting,
about,
Sam.
Stephen.
Yeah, and
Right now, I'm trying to talk with you. You're interrupting,
You
Sam.
bombarded the show.
Okay,
You
go ahead.
bombarded my show under a false pretense. You claim that
Bombarded?
just like you claim that I ducked a debate with you under a false pretense. Have I ever?
That is what the Politicon people told me.
Oh,
I
is that
played
what they
the
told you?
audio
Well,
of
so
it.
you're just lazy
Yeah.
with your research?
And if
No,
big tech
what
is,
more
You
research
continue with
do
the
I
lie.
need? They
You need
said
to
were
research and say,
booked.
did Stephen ever accept?
They said you were
Let me
booked.
explain to you. Let me explain
They
to you.
said
Let me
you were
explain to you. Hey,
booked
hey,
and
whoa,
that
whoa,
you
whoa, whoa,
dropped
Sam,
out and you literally
Sam,
had cold
sweetheart.
feet.
Sam, fake stand-up comic who we can't find any footage about online. Let
I'm
me
not
finish.
a stand-up comic.
Oh, you're not? Okay, that makes sense because everything that I've seen is incredibly unfunny and unentertaining,
Well,
which may
I'm
explain
not
the
a
audience.
stand-up comic.
Irony alert, Stephen.
How
Comedian.
much have you watched of my stuff,
The
Stephen, that
irony
you
of-
think
Sam,
that your
can I
audience
answer your
wouldn't
question?
appreciate
Sam,
our discussing things?
Samuel, can I answer your question?
Yes.
So you have gone on, you've done the same thing with other comments. Everyone has a bigger audience than you because you said, I want to speak with Steven Crowder. You believe that at some point there was some acceptance? When have I ever done a Politicon? Ever? When have
don't
as a
know.
matter of
I
fact, in the
haven't
last
followed your
decade,
career like you seem to have followed mine, Stephen.
I haven't done a single political conference.
How
I
can
hosted
you say-
CPAC for 4 years and stopped because they suck.
How can
They
you
don't
say-
pay
Okay.
and they're full of losers.
Now for years, Crowder's dodged Sam like the plague, brushing him off with "your audience is too small" excuses, and pretending like he didn't know who he was. But when they finally came face to face, Crowder's usual confidence evaporated fast. Sam came with receipts, calm, composure, and facts, while Crowder scrambled to regain control with insults, deflection, and some pretty obvious discomfort. Crowder tried to spin the whole thing into a number game, like having more YouTube subscribers means you're always right. But debate doesn't work like that. You don't need 5 million subs to expose a weak argument, and Sam showed exactly why Crowder's been avoiding this matchup for so long. Plus, for the record, Crowder did dodge debates before. It's not a lie. Politicon organizers confirmed he ghosted. Sam didn't crash anything, he was invited. Crowder just wasn't ready for someone who came armed with facts instead of grifting outrage for clicks.
about
and you've been
Gavin McInnes's
clamoring
show?
for it, and
Gavin
it's a
told
lie.
me that you dropped out of doing
How
his
can you
show
say
because
that
This
you-
is just
I was going
hearsay
to
and
go-
gossip.
But how can he
have-
say
I've never
you
met more of a
follow your
woman.
career when he wants
Well,
to keep debating?
I don't need to talk
It's
about any
bizarre.
of this.
All right,
Let's talk
okay.
about the issue.
So,
the
Ethan, do you want to have a
CDC.
conversation, Ethan?
Let's talk
about the
about big
vaccine
tech.
because
Ethan, do you want to have a
Absolutely, I
conversation?
do.
You're going to hide.
You felt
Absolutely,
so
I
strongly
do.
about
Big tech.
So why are you hiding behind Sam Seder?
Oh
Sam
no,
Seder?
no,
Have
no.
a
Me and Sam are
conversation
aligned. I'm not
with
hiding.
him.
He just
Well, you're just a
he knows the
liar.
issue.
So you're a
Ethan,
liar.
because remember we
You
said,
brought
hold
in
on a second,
somebody
hold on a
else to
second.
debate.
I mean, it
Yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah.
feels like
It's
you guys are the ones
ridiculous.
who are hiding.
Really?
Ethan
Hiding?
is being
No, this is
completely open
actually
about it.
Who snuck in on you?
who's the guy who
Ethan's
never
being
appears
completely
on
open
stage,
about it.
never does a live show,
But it's a
never
comic.
even sheds, never even allows a shadow of comedy to be perceived on his program. It's just hiding.
Right.
Everything we do is out in the open. H3.
Steven,
you know
you're wearing a
that we
holster.
agreed.
So what?
Hold on a second. Yeah? So? I want to normalize responsible gun ownership. Is that your debate? No wonder you had to bring in a hack for you.
wanna
Well,
call
no,
it
you're talking
copyright?
about
Well,
comedy.
that's
I
what
mean,
you
debate
did,
strategy.
Steven.
That's
Write
not
it
very
for you.
funny.
You have a holster, bro.
Also, your
You have a
sponsor is
holster
Spartan.
as he takes advantage of mentally ill women for a
main
show.
sponsor is about
dwindling.
gay
All
boy
right,
love.
okay.
All of it.
All right, Sam, you got it. You got it. I hope you have
No,
a,
come
I
on.
hope
Hey,
you have a
Steven,
wonderful
if-
highlight reel.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Let me just make one point.
Hope you enjoy Politicon.
Hold on,
Ethan
let
will
me make
release the
one
Friday
point,
night
Steven.
messages.
Take it easy.
Steven,
All right,
don't
thanks,
bail.
guys.
You don't
I
wanna have
appreciate
Don't
it.
bail, you coward.
Hey, Sam, one thing before I go. One thing before I
If it's
go. Can you
about
take off your
issues,
glasses?
Steven,
Hold on.
One thing before I go.
I
Can you
just
take
wanna
off your
see-
glasses?
we just wanna see if
I
there's
just want to
buttons.
see if you take them off. If you have the Velveteen Rabbit buttons. That's the only thing I'm curious
What
about. It's the only
I-
interesting part about it.
Steven,
Or if
I-
there's a soul.
Let's
Just
debate.
take off the glasses.
Let's debate,
Steven,
Steven.
hide behind the
Don't
glasses.
be a
Sam.
coward.
Don't say
I
let's
will-
debate, Ethan. You've
I
lost
will
the
Coward.
debate.
Debate. All right.
Debate
This
the
is sad.
issues. What
This
does
is
it matter who
bullshit.
you
Shut
debate,
up.
coward?
All right, good. You guys are good. Thank you.
Coward.
Appreciate it. Won't even take off the glasses.
I was right.
All right, yeah,
We
you
knew
can
you
give me
would
the
run
X.
away.
This
You
is
run away twice. Cold feet again.
Come on, Steven.
Wow. Wow. Dude, I can't believe he admit to following.
He admitted that he followed the show last week.
We got him.
Admitted that he watched the show last
We
week.
got
went
him.
early.
Dude, we played him so hard because he literally was following. He saw that you went live, dude. We fucking got him.
Oh my God, we fucking nailed him.
Holy shit.
Crowder, who usually thrives when he's in control, started to spiral the second Sam entered the call. Instead of engaging with Sam's points, Crowder kept flailing, pivoting to nonsense about comedy, H3H3's production choices, and even throwing in some weird bit about Velveteen Rabbit. Like, what are we doing here? And the most revealing part, Crowder admitted he'd been watching Sam's show the week before, which totally kills his whole Sam Who routine. You can't say someone's irrelevant and then admit you're keeping tabs on them. That's not how that works. That's just insecurity. Crowder walks into this thinking it would be another controlled setup, but instead, Sam exposed him for what he really is. A guy who talks tough until someone with actual arguments show up, and the crowning moment, him logging off. Again, classic cold feet Crowder.
So do you want to respond to, here, you want to throw him up, Dan? Do you want to respond to anything he said now that he's not talking over you?
Well, I mean, look, he's obviously lying about the idea that he wouldn't want to do a debate with me because his audience wouldn't know. Here's a guy who literally tracked my show last week because he was afraid that this would happen. Here's a guy who claims to have watched, I don't know what it is he said he watched, but he's not worried about audience not knowing who he's debating because he sits down with random college kids and sandbags them on their campus. I have the recording from Politicon when they called and he backed out. I have emails from Gavin McInnes, whose show I would have never gone on, except he offered up a debate with Crowder, and Crowder left. And so, I think Steven is afraid of debating somebody. Look, I do a political show every day. It's dry,
I don't.
it's boring,
It's obvious.
and you don't.
Yeah, exactly. And
he's
so if he
afraid.
wants to debate the issues, what's the difference between me and anybody in the world?
I mean, only that he is convinced that for whatever reason, he's nervous about debating me. I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case.
But
I debated Charlie Kirk at Politicon. It was fine. I thought Kirk did a fairly good job. I think Stephen's not a total idiot, but I also do think he's a bit of a liar.
I mean, yeah, we even went through the effort of tracking down this claim that he never booked us for the show. I mean, here's the email, super professional. So I was like, I reached out to the girl. She said, I said, did you send me this email? She said, yes, I did. Years ago, for a few months, I worked for Steven Crowder booking. I'm not quite sure who you'd contact now. I know his dad does the booking for him. Let me know if you need me to try to find you. How would she know that if she didn't work for them?
You know, what's funny is that when the Politicon, when the woman from Politicon called me, she also mentioned that his dad, she said his team, I think Stephen got cold feet. His team pulled him out. And I said, wait, he's got a team? And he said, well, his dad.
Right.
And,
right.
you know, I mean, I called my dad to see if he could call Stephen's dad, to see if Stephen would debate me, like on some type of play date. But my father reminded me that I was a grown man and I should probably handle it myself.
Sam's not just throwing out accusations, he literally has the emails from Crowder's own former booking assistant confirming they reached out to schedule him for a show, not to mention the Politicon recording where the organizer straight up said Crowder's team, aka his dad, apparently pulled him out at the last minute. Like, seriously? His dad is handling his bookings? This guy tries to act like a tough guy online, but when it comes time to debate someone who actually knows what they're talking about, suddenly it's like scheduling a middle school sleepover. And Crowder's excuse that Sam doesn't have a big enough audience, total BS. This is the same guy who films himself cornering random college freshmen to debate them with a full production team behind him. He's clearly not concerned about audience numbers, he's concerned about being challenged by someone who actually comes prepared. Sam Seder runs a policy-focused show. He debates for a living, and he doesn't crumble under pressure. That's the difference. Crowder's whole brand is change my mind, but the second someone like Sam shows up to do exactly that, he just dips. That's not a debate. That's a runner.
Pause. Are you getting tired of getting half the story from biased news sources? One outlet says one thing and another says the complete opposite. How are you supposed to know what's actually true? That's where ground news comes in. It lets you compare how different media outlets, left, right, and center are covering the same story. So you can see the full picture instead of just the echo chamber. And here's the best part. Click the link in the description and get 40% off the Vantage tier, which gives you even deeper insights into media bias and political trends. Stay informed, think for yourself, and check out Ground News in the description down below.